Welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report here at Slider Games. Thanks everyone for subscribing, and if you are enjoying the channel, please continue to like the videos, comment. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. That helps us out here at Slider Games. But today, we are playing a 1750 point Tempest of War mission between the Custodes and my T'au Sept Sunars. Our mission today is claim the battlefield. So standard for the first two primary objectives, holding one gives you 5 points, holding two or more gives you another 5, and then there's an action to claim an objective. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 up there, and then swinging around there's one in the back here by these crates. So doing an action on those objectives, and you get 2 points every command phase for each one that you continue to hold. And then we have, of course, hammer and anvil deployment, and we've already rolled. Custodes are on this end, T'au down here, and controlling the Golden Host, Acadian Sergeant Steele. Yes.
For the Emperor, I am back.
Yes, always for the Emperor, whether it's Guard or Custodes. You actually have a little bit of a mixed list here today.
I do. I decided to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't bringing my Acadians, I was going to just bring something really interesting.
Yes. This is the sweet rematch. T'au and Custodes have faced off before. Custodes are in pursuit of the T'au as they spread across the system, and we'll see if they can purge the xenos.
Yeah, and we are seeking to do just that today.
Exactly. All right, awesome. Let's take a look at the armies. This is exactly 1,750 points of Sunar Sept. We follow the T'au Septenate, so we get to reroll a hit or wound roll every time we attack, and we get plus 3 inches to our aura abilities. In charge today is Commander Skyfire. She has Precision of the Hunter for her Warlord trait. Lets her reroll her hit and wound rolls. I did not spend a command point on a relic today, so we're going to start with 5 CP with our Nephilim rolls. But she is equipped with 3 fusion blasters, a pulse rifle, and she has 2 shield drones accompanying her. Behind her we have 3 squads of 10 fire warriors with 2 gun drones each, and then a squad of Pathfinders with 2 gun drones and a pulse accelerator, so they will get minus 1 to their AP on their pulse carbines. Then we've got 2 squads of stealth suits with 2 gun drones, fusion blasters on the Chazrays and burst cannons on their Chazway, and then 2 broadside battle suits with 2 shield drones each. They both have smart missiles and stabilizing optics, there we go, so they can move and fire without a penalty. And then we have rail rifle, high yield missile pod. Our other HQ is Longstrike, who is just a T'au tank ace here for our Sept, but he is our second HQ with the ion cannon and smart missiles, and then another hammerhead with an ion cannon and smart missiles, and finally a squad of 3 crisis suits with 2 fusion blasters and a missile pod each, and they are accompanied by 3 shield drones and 2 gun drones. And that is our list, 1750 points. Let's take a look at the Custodes. This is 1,750 points of Emissaries Imperatus Custodes. What do we got going on?
All right, so today we have a shield captain. This will be my warlord with his spear. He has the warlord trait of Radiant Mantle, so he'll be minus 1 to hit. And then he also has the relic Eagle Eye, so that will give him an additional wound. And then once per game, he can choose to give himself a 3-up invuln save before he starts taking saves.
Yes.
We have another shield captain. He's got the sword and shield, so he's going to be following around the other melee units, we hope. And then we also have the Vexillus Praetor here in a leech slot, but that's important because we have the Magnifica banner, so to give everything within 6 inches minus 1 to be hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chucks out 6-inch aura of dense cover, basically.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. So then behind we have 4 troops choices just for Custodes. We have 2 regular guard squads. We have the guard with the Parathite spears. We have then 3 with the Sentinel blades as well. So for those not familiar with the spears here, these are basically Melta spears.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a fancy Melta word.
Yeah, so all the melee weapons of Custodes have bolters attached to them, essentially, built into them. Except these guys have upgraded their little bolters to Melta guns.
Yeah. We have 3 Virtus Praetors on the jet bikes with the Hurricane bolters. They'll be flying around. We have the Contemptor Gladys Dreadnought with his sword and shield. And then we have the Telemon.
Yes.
So we're hoping he gets in to do some crunchy good work.
Yeah.
Then, to make it interesting, we have added 2 units of Agents of the Imperium. So we have Kyria Draxus, the Ordos Xenos Inquisitor, here. That's going to be helping us out. And so she's got Castigation and Smite for her psychic powers. And then we also have Voidsman at Arms. Now, I am doing a little proxy here. We don't have the rotor cannon. It is just 4 last guns. Whoopsies. And then the shotgun on the leader. And we have the cannon here, which doesn't count as a model. It's just a token for a one-time use ability. So we have them hanging out with the Custodes because the Imperium has sent an Ordos Xenos Inquisitor after the Guard have failed to dispatch the T'au well.
Well, they look amazing. It's going to pain me significantly to obliterate them all, but...
Attempt obliterate.
Very cool. Let's look at deployment. We have deployed T'au Sept Sonars down here in advancing through the rocky, hilly terrain and the trees and the craters. Everything's on the field except for my crisis team. They are in Mantlehold. Skyfire is actually on the board, even though her name is Skyfire because she always flies down from the sky blasting people with Mont'ka. But she's over here with a squad of Fire Warriors backing up this slightly forward deployed stealth team on this objective here. The problem with my stealth team is these guys ignore all modifiers when they're shooting, so they don't get -1. They're ignoring any dense cover, so stealth teams are not in a great spot this time. But pretty much everything is just spread out across the line pretty evenly. This Fire Warrior team is back here mainly for deep strike protection, from Golden Light They Come protection, I guess, if you will. And then we have Broadside, Hammerhead. Hammerhead, this is the tank ace here, and they are within 9 inches of each other, so he can give his buff out to this other Hammerhead. And then the other Broadside down here on this flank with some Fire Warriors and a stealth team ready to pounce on this objective. There are actually 3 of those models are already within range. And then we have our Pathfinders right here in the center. So they have a pre-game move so they can swing out if they need to. So our plan basically, move up, secure these objectives, and then pummel the Custodes with superior technology and firepower. But what's going on over here with the Custodes?
All right, so we've got the Virtus Praetors out on the flank, hoping to negate the hills and the craters with their superior speed. We have 2 units of Custodian Guard, along with the Vixillus Praetor and the Shield Captain Warlord, all down here at the center of the table. Over on the other flank, we have the Glatus Dreadnought, we have the Custodian Guard with the shields, and the Parathite Spears, along with the Inquisitor and the other Shield Captain, all together, preparing to rush forward through the Industrial Ruins. And for some reason, the Inquisitor has told the Voidsman at Arms to just hang out back here until the dust settles.
Keep this area secure while we press forward and annihilate the Xenos. So these guys, everybody's basically right at the deployment line for the Custodes. I love the way this just looks like they're advancing across the battlefield. T'au advancing up with their infantry in the front, heavier stuff in the back in support. Looks really awesome. Very exciting. Okay, but now we need to decide who goes first. So I will let you roll first, sir, since you are the guest.
Oh, here we go.
That is a 2.
Okay, roll 1.
I rolled 2. Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
All right. Here goes my reroll.
A 1.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
A 1. All right. We're keeping it close. Maybe this is,
All right.
See if the game's this close. A 5.
Oh.
That's better. Okay. This is getting weird. It's getting a little crazy at this point.
Okay, if it gets to 5, we both go simultaneously and we alternate units.
Yes, alternate activations. It's the only proper thing to do. That's a 4.
Kind of a 4, yeah.
Okay. So Custodes will be going first. Let's take a look at their objectives. The Shield Captain has issued his orders. Blood and Guts, kill the T'au in melee combat. Battlefield Supremacy, hold 3 objectives and hold more than your opponent. Both of those should be achievable. Maybe not all 3 Blood and Guts this turn, but Battlefield Supremacy should be able to be done. And then finally, Raise Banner. There's an objective in the middle of the battlefield that is potentially bannerable. Let's look at movement. The Custodes have pressed forward, with the exception of these guys back here. What are these guys called again?
Voidsmen at Arms.
Voidsmen at Arms. They are claiming the objective, so they're doing the action to claim this objective. Basically, everything else advanced except this squad of Guardians, because they are just within range of that objective to raise the banner, and the bikes did not advance. But everything else, because you're in... What stance are you in?
I'm in Callistus stance 2, which permits for me to advance and counters having to remain stationary.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the Galatus did not advance.
Yeah,
also.
he didn't. But you did a command point stratagem to move him before the game?
Yeah, so I did 2 CP. It's called Into the Darkness for the Emissaries Imperatus. So he could do a pre-battle move.
Pre-battle move, yep.
Yep.
So he moved up, so he is in pretty juicy charge range over here. I will say I did shift the Pathfinders just a little bit to kind of consolidate them behind some line of sight blocking terrain. But that's it. They're pressing forward, trying to get into combat with the T'au. And we're going to go right into the shooting. The
Virtus
Praetors. There we go. They're firing into the Fire Warriors over here. Rapid fire range. So 36 shots.
36 shots.
Yes.
Here we go.
Hitting on 2s.
Woo!
Nice. That was 30 hits out of 36. Let's see. 3s to wound here.
There we go.
That was 21 saves. There's one guy left. But he is about to be shot by one Guardian Spear, who is in range of him.
1 spear. Here we go. Hit on a 2.
Hits.
Wounding on a... Hit not a 2.
Oh, okay. He
Ooh.
survives.
Yep. So and I got one other shot. I'm going to put in the stealth team from that unit that can see it. It hits. And it does. Wow.
Okay. So we're holding strong here. The problem is Skyfire is a bit exposed at this point, but let's see what's next. The Contemptor Galatus Dreadnought is flaming into this group of Fire Warriors. So 2d6 auto hits.
Here we go.
For 7.
7.
Statistically average.
Wounding on 2.
Ooh.
So the strength 6, toughness 3.
Yep.
There we go.
So that is 6 wounds.
-1.
-1. We are in cover. I guess I need to do these on the drones. I got 2 drones, so -1, +1 back up to their 4-up save. The drones are good.
Ooh.
Drones are both dead, and then 2 more on the Fire Warriors, and they're good. Okay, so we lost the 2 drones. That does conclude the shooting phase, so we're moving on to charges, starting again with the Dreadnought. He needs 10 inches for the Fire Warriors because he has to go over the barricade.
Alright, here we go.
That is a fail. Do you want to command point it?
No, I'm not, because the more important charge.
Yes, a 6-inch over here for the bikes into the stealth team.
Here we go. I need a 6.
That's a 6. So the bikes are in. No fire Overwatch being fired. Virtus Praetors are in. They were able with their consolidation to tag our Shazway down here. And this guy is actually up on the edge, this wobbly model. We've scooted him back to safety a little bit. But they have 12 attacks. They get +1 to wound because they charged. So it'll be hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
There we go. Ooh.
A few ones there. All right, all right.
Yeah, we're down to 9. So, and then we need 2s again.
2s again.
Oh.
So 8.
8 wounds at -3.
All right, I have 7 dice. We'll just do these and then I'll do another one. It's all the same, so they're all... It's 2 damage each, so I guess technically I do need to do them on the drones first in case they survive. So 2 drones, and it's minus... I'm sorry, what did you say?
-3.
-3. Okay, so no save. Never mind.
Oh.
So yeah, they're all 4-up saves, so they're dead.
Oh my god.
You wiped the squad. After combat, a command point was spent on sweeping advance for the bikes, so they got to consolidate an extra 3 inches, which let them tag Skyfire. She fought back. Shazway fought back. No damage done in return. I am spending 2 CP for Insane Bravery on this little guy, so that he can fall back and still control this objective, because they are not objective secured. But at the end of the Custodes turn 1, they get 5 points for raising a banner here, and 5 points for Battlefield Supremacy. So let's go on to the T'au objectives. Skyfire has issued her orders. Originally thought about deploying a teleport homer, thought better of it. I'm not going to be in the Custodes deployment zone for some time, so dropped that one for a command point. Got Raise Banner, so do an action on an objective in no man's land. Investigate Site, this is another tough draw. Have to do an action wholly within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield. And then finally Bring It Down. Destroy that Galadius Dreadnought. Our forces have moved, but just barely. We are in Mont'ka, I don't think I've mentioned that yet, so we can advance for free, basically, and it counts as if we remain stationary, but we didn't really do very much moving at all. The Fire Warriors shifted up just a little bit to get a few more into cover. Broadside shifted over. We fell out of combat with Skyfire, so she's not shooting. This guy fell out of combat. He is on the objective, and he's so short, he is out of line of sight of most of the Custodes, so I should be able to hold that objective for a while. But since he fell back, he cannot do any actions over here, unfortunately. So yeah, basically everything else stayed still. Other than the Pathfinders, who shifted a little bit because we fired marker lights here and here. We got 2 on the bikes, 4 on the Dreadnought, who I need for Bring It Down. And then over here, the only thing that moved, that's the broadside did shift up a couple inches just to bring some for Mont'ka, because if I'm within 18, I get to reroll wound rolls of 1. And then I moved the stealth team up just a little bit to get in melt to range for that fusion blaster. But that's all we are. So the Custodes have done what they wanted. They've pushed the T'au back and are pinning them back, unfortunately. So we are in a difficult spot there. We really need to get rid of these guys just to keep us alive, and we need to get rid of that Dreadnought for Bring It Down. So let's go into the shooting phase. Starting our shooting with our tank ace. He will be firing into the bikes. I am overcharging, so this will be strength 8, which doesn't actually change anything, AP -2, but it does boost it to 3 damage, which will help us. So 3d3 shots for only 4 shots. It's not what we wanted to see. But he's sitting on 2s. And I can reroll 1 with T'au Sept. And I can reroll 1 with his targeting array. Okay, so they all hit. And then 3s to wound, rerolling 1s because of Mont'ka. 2 1s, jeez.
2s. Okay,
so 3 wounds at AP -2. 3 damage. So
AP -2. So that's going to put me at my invuln save.
Yep, so 4 up. You failed 2, that will kill a bike at 3 damage each.
Yeah, it would. You still got a lot more shots coming in.
I've got many more.
So, it is tough. It's only a 50-50 chance on the reroll, so I don't feel like it's worth my command point.
Okay, so we take out 1 bike. Moving along, our last marker light will be spent. The broadside is firing everything into the bikes. I will note also the smart missiles from our tank ace did go in as well. It took 2 more wounds off, so there's 1 bike on 3 wounds left. But we're going to start here with our smart missiles. These will hit on 3s. I'm not going to spend my T'au Sept reroll. Oops. And then these will wound on 5s. So 2 wounds at AP -1.
Okay, 3s. Oh
okay,
no.
So 1 does drop to 2 wounds, which helps his big missiles. Alright, so these will also hit on 3s. And I will use my T'au Sept to reroll here. Didn't help. I do get to reroll the 1. No, that's to wound, I'm sorry. Don't get to reroll the 1 yet. But that's 5 so far. And then these are 3s to wound, strength 7. They all wound. So 5 wounds at AP -2, 2 damage each.
5 at AP -2?
Yep.
Not good.
So you fail 3.
3.
So it kills the guy on 2 wounds, and then does 4 wounds to the last guy, unless you want to command point.
See, you still got a decent
So we still have, that's going to be 28 shots from the Fire Warrior squad coming in, but they would be wounding on 5s and hitting on 4s.
Well, but that's enough, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and take it on the chin.
Okay, one guy's got 1 wound left. Moving along in the shooting phase, the Fire Warriors fired in. They actually only got 1 wound through, but the bike rolled a 1, and they took out the remaining biker. Swing over, Now that our lines are cleared, we can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, but then we have this guy trudging down towards us. We're going to start over here with the broadside, firing everything in. So we have 2 shots with the heavy ram rifle, hitting on 3s with the marker light. I'm going to spin my T'au Sept to reroll that 1, and it's still a 1. Okay, so only 1 hit, and you are toughness 7. So this is a 3 to wound, and I reroll once to wound. I did move him forward to get the Mont'ka. Okay, so it does wound. You do get your invulnerable save. He's not a squat, so all our railguns don't ignore invulnerables.
Yes. So here we go. 4 up save.
4 up.
Oh no.
He fails.
What's the damage? I'll let this go through.
D3 plus 3. You do take a mortal wound since it wounded you automatically.
D3 plus 3, so you're only going to do up to 6 damage, but you got another fusion gun there.
Yeah, and the other tank technically too.
Yeah, I am going to attempt to reroll this one. Yep. Here we go.
Need a 4.
Oh no.
And it is a 1.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling, and then...
Okay, so D3 plus 3. So I think that is 4 plus a mortal wound. Let me double check to make sure that's right.
All right.
Okay, so we do have, so 6 up Fiona Paint to mortal wounds, and then a 6 up Fiona Paint to all wounds since he's a venerable type dreadnought. So the 4 damage was reduced to 3 plus a mortal wound, so 4 6s looking for right here.
None.
Okay, so he takes 4 damage, and then we'll fire the smart missiles in as well off camera. After those wounds went through, I spent 2 CP on focused fire to give everything that shoots at the dreadnought plus 1 to wound. So now we're going to go over to the stealth team and fire in, starting with the fusion. I guess I should note real quick, no wounds were done by the smart missiles when they fired in. But firing in our fusion, and we are in melter range here, so hitting on a 3 because of the marker lights. Whoops, that does hit. And then wounding on a 2 because of focus fire. It does wound. Invulnerable save, or D6 plus 2.
Alright, here we go. Come on. No, I have failed all of them so far.
Okay, so D6 plus 2 reduced by 1.
Ooh.
So that's only 3. You've got 5 wounds left. I'm going to command point it. I'm going to use my reroll right here. And made it worse. Okay, so you take 2 wounds, 2 6-ups, and you save 1.
Nor
so
1.
It only does 1 damage. Good. So continuing the shooting phase, I did fire in the Pathfinders. So they had to split fire because of line of sight. So a few shots over here, a few shot into this Guardian squad. No damage was done either way. We have a screaming baby on the loose. So now we're going with the Fire Warriors. I did spend a command point on Relentless Fusillade to get their AP up to 2, which will put him on his invulnerable save. But we've got 20 shots coming in, hitting on 3s with the marker lights. Let's see what we got. 15 hits after the T'au Sept reroll. Now we are wounding on 4s because of our focused fire stratagem. Let's see what we got. 6 saves. There are no 1s to reroll for Mont'ka, but these are 6 4-ups. He's got 3 wounds left.
Here we go. 4 up saves.
You fail 4, so he...
6 up, feel no pain.
Oh yes, 6 up, feel no pain.
I roll
Need
2
2
6s here.
You've got 1
Oh,
6.
no!
Oh, so close. All right, so it does just enough damage. Does it explode?
It does. Let's see what happens. No.
Okay,
Thank
no
God.
Explosion. But that is 5 points for Bring It Down for the town.
Yes.
So we did achieve a secondary objective. And we've got 1 tank left to shoot. Last thing to shoot is our other Hammerhead. He did get the buff from our tank ace, so he does get the effect of 1 marker light on whatever he shoots. He's firing into the Mont'ka squad back here. I am overcharging, so this will be 3d3 shots for, oh, that's better, for 7. Let me grab some more dice. All right, and these will hit on 4s because +1 from the marker light to 3s, indents cover, back to 4s. 1s to hit will do a mortal wound to me as well. No 1s, and I do have a T'au Sept reroll, which... Okay, and then I'm going to spend my targeting array reroll. Alright, they all hit.
What was that?
And then these are 3s to wound. Strength 8, toughness 5. Not quite as good, but 4 go through at AP -2.
AP -2, so I'm at my 4-ups. There we go, invulnerable saves.
You fail 2. Those are flat 3 damage.
Ooh, that's going to pop 2.
2 of them go down. We'll fire some smart missiles off camera. After our smart missiles fired in, we did 1 more wound. So there's 1 guy left in that squad with 2 wounds left. But that is the end of the turn for the T'au. We do score 5 points for Bring It Down, making it 10 points to Custodes, 5 points to the T'au. Custodes will be getting 12 points for primaries, though, at the start of their turn because they hold 1, 2, 3 objectives. So 5 points for 1 objective, 5 for more than 1. And then they did claim that one in the back, making 12 points. T'au were unable to claim any objectives on Battle Round 1 because we needed everything to shoot. But let's go on to Battle Round 2 and the objectives for the Custodes. Shield Captain issued some new orders. Bring it down, destroy the hammerheads. I get to select, since I had 2 with the same, so my regular hammerhead, not my tank ace, is the target for Bring It Down. Storm hostile objective, take an objective controlled by the T'au, and then finally we're still working on Blood and Guts. Need to kill 2 more units in combat. Movement is over for the Custodes. The single remaining Mont'ka guy advanced and got up onto the catwalk up here, onto the objective. Everybody else just moved forward except the Vexilla, who did also advance, so now his aura is hitting basically everything in the army. And then finally, there's a giant dreadnought landed right in front of the lines. The T'au did a great job of preventing him from landing in the backfield. However, he is marching forward onto the objective there to try to knock the Fire Warriors off of it. And these guys stayed back, just sitting on that objective, and he is performing the claim objective action. This squad is performing the claim objective action, and they will all be able to shoot because of, what is it, your kata?
Conserve. It's my current stance that I'm in, and it is the emissary.
Their specific
one. So I get both benefits, which means I can do an action and shoot, and advance and do an action.
Yeah. So huge. So he advanced and is doing an action. They did not advance, so they'll be able to shoot even though they are doing an action. Very cool. Let's go on to the shooting phase. I almost forgot, there is a Psyker on the battlefield. So the Inquisitor is smiting, and the Fire Warrior is slightly closer, so this will hit them on a 5.
There we go.
That goes off.
Got
so
it
D3
6.
Mortal Wounds.
One
Fire Warrior's brain melts. The Dreadnought is now firing Twin Plasma Injector into the Fire Warriors. It's kind of like a flamer. And then his
Arachnus Storm Cannon in the beam mode.
Yeah, going into this tank, which is the Bring It Down target. Okay?
You know, if Custodes just had weapon names like Big Boomstick and stuff like that, like Orcs do, I'd be totally happy. All right, it's 2d3 for the plasma injectors. They're basically flamers.
So 4 shots.
Wounding on 2s because it's strength 6.
Yep. So that is 3 wounds.
3 wounds, -2, 1 damage.
-2, so they would be at a 6 up. They're in cover, so these are 3 5s. And we save 1. Okay, so 2 more Fire Warriors die. Then you want to shoot your big fancy gun.
Oh, yep, here's the scary part. So I am within range of my shield captain.
For reroll 1s.
So I'm going to reroll 1, so here we go.
2s to hit, both hit.
And then strength a lot, strength 8.
So 3s, toughness 7.
And I reroll the wound rolls because you're a vehicle.
Yep. So
a 4 and a 3.
They both wound anyway. AP.
Yep. AP -4.
Okay, so no save.
Flat 3 damage.
Okay, so 6 wounds off the tank and 2 Fire Warriors dead. Shooting has concluded. All the small arms came in. Basically everything fired into the Fire Warriors. There are 4 of them left. On to the charges. Custodes. Guardian. What are these guys called with the shields?
They're the Custodian Guard. They're just equipped with Sentinel swords and shields.
Okay, so they don't have a special name. Okay,
no.
But they're coming in. Need a 10-inch because of the barricade into the stealth team.
Yep. Here we go. I need a 10. Come on. That's not
That's a 1, so that is not. You want to go ahead and re-roll that probably, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So you want to charge this guy. He needs a 9-inch into both of these squads.
Yep.
But I, the mighty T'au and their technology, are going to throw a photon grenade at you for a command point.
What?
Reduce your charge range by 2.
What?
So I got ahead of myself. It doesn't work on vehicles or monsters. He is a vehicle, so photon grenades flash around him. He is unfazed, so he needs a 9-inch charge, and this is re-rollable because of an upgrade you gave him.
Yeah, Eternal Penitent upgrade, 1 CP at the beginning of the game. So here we go. I need a 9.
That is not a 9.
Not a 9. Can I get it on a reroll?
Woo! You can get it on a reroll. Okay, so he is into both units. The Telemon Heavy Dreadnought is about to unleash 6 attacks. They're all going into the Fire Warriors. If he can wipe them out, he'll be able to tag the tank and be in range of this objective.
Maybe. This is still questionable. We'll find out.
Yeah, it'll be close. It'll be close. But I don't want to, jinx anybody. But if you go back and watch our last battle report with this guy, he did charge into a unit and rolled 6 ones, command pointed and rolled another 1. So there is a chance. That's all I'm saying. There's a chance.
It was really bad.
All right, but 6 attacks going into the Fire Warriors. Anything that wounds will kill them.
Yeah, strength 16.
Yeah,
so.
hitting on 2s, killing on 2s. Okay, they all hit.
Okay.
Now we just need all those 1s to show up again.
Oh!
Okay. So they are dead. The
Okay.
Fire Warriors have been annihilated. With consolidating, due to a Pathfinder's position, the Telemon could not tag the tank and be in range of the objective. He actually just couldn't tag the tank, is what it ended up being. So the Telemon shifted back, so he is controlling this objective, which means they get Storm Hostile Objective for 5 points, bringing them a total of 27 after their primaries and their other secondaries. So it's 27 points for the Custodes heading in to T'au, turn 2. Skyfire has issued new commands. We're still looking to raise our banner. We now have overwhelming firepower, so just shoot stuff. And then capture the enemy outpost. We'll see if our crisis team can do something about that. Here at the end of movement, the lone Fire Warrior stayed still. He is raising the banner on this objective. We're in Mont'ka, so we advanced this Fire Warrior team. They rolled a big 6, so the front couple guys are actually in range of this objective as well. But I'm not going to claim it yet. I need some firepower. So I have a bold strategy this turn. Advanced both of these. Skyfire is a bit exposed, but you'll also notice the Pathfinders are still in combat. He only has 6 attacks, so on my turn he'll kill 6 of them, but on his turn he may still not actually be able to wipe them all out. So I've basically locked him up right here, which will free all my other guns to shoot at the remaining people who are scoring all the points for the Custodes. The weakness of this is I'm losing all of my marker lights for this to happen. But pros and cons. Both tanks shifted back a little bit to just stay out of his range if he does manage to work his way out. Stealth team moved up to get onto this objective. Broadside did not move. So that's what's happening in our home territory. But down here, underneath this little thing, maybe they didn't actually deep strike. Maybe they were hiding inside this building and they've blasted their way through, looking to split a lot of fire. So I need to claim this objective. I have Strike and Fade, which is, after I shoot, move 6 inches. So if I wiped them all out, but they have to come in over 9, which means they would just be outside of 3 inches of the objective, the way they're placed on it. So I've got a plan. They're going to split their fire in here, kill most of these in shooting, so that I can charge them and get on that objective, and then fire some other stuff down here at these guys. So the plan this turn, take these guys out, charge, get the objective. Use all my other firepower to weaken the center of the battlefield and hopefully take down the Custodes' opportunities for scoring points in future rounds. Let's see if it'll work. At the end of the movement phase and the start of my shooting phase, I did spend all 3 of my command points on Strike and Fade for this unit, so they'll get to move 6 inches after shooting, and then Drop Threat Acquisition. They will get to reroll all their hit rolls when shooting as well. But we're not going to start there. We're starting with Commander Skyfire. She is firing everything into this unit right here that is on this objective. And with her Precision of the Hunter, she will get to reroll everything. So we'll start with her 3 fusion blasters, hitting on... You know what? I'm going to start with my pulse rifle, actually, because it does a flat 3. So it hits on a 2. Hits.
Ooh, with the -1 from the... But you rolled 5.
Yeah, so yeah.
Just so we remember going forward.
Correct, yeah. We do need to remember the dense cover from the Vexilla. Is that what that is?
Yeah, the Vexilla Praetor with the Magnifica banner.
Giving dense cover. So still hits, but you did also spend a command point on Archaic Genetic Alchemy.
Yes.
Basically, they're transhuman, so this will wound on 4. Does not wound, so this is my Warlord trait reroll. Doesn't wound. Okay. Not what we wanted. Alright, but 3 fusions, hitting on 2s. I can reroll everything with Warlord trait. They all hit. Wounding on 4s as well. So, reroll on my wounds. Only 1 wounded, 4 up, invulnerable save.
Okay, here
Or
we go
D6.
for the 50 chance. Oh! It's a 5.
It is a 5, so Commander Brief Stand does no damage. After a little bit of disappointing fire there from Skyfire, we're going to go over to this guy. He is receiving the buff from our tank ace, so he does get the effect of 1 mark to light. He's firing up into that same squad, so he'll go from 4s to 3s with the marker light, and then the dense cover will bring it back down to 4s. We'll get 3d3 shots overcharging. That is 2, 4, 5 shots. Hitting on 4s. Ooh, not great. Only 1. I'm going to spend my T'au Sept reroll and my targeting array. Still only 1. Not good. Need and then 4 to wound because of their transhuman-y stuff. But it does wound. AP -2, so a 4-up save.
4-up save. Actually, because they get +1 save from the
barricade, so this is a 3-up.
3-up armor.
Which they make. Ooh, this is... Shooting, the plan is not going well at this point. I'll fire the smart missiles off camera. Smart missiles did no damage, so we're going over to the other broadside over here with the high yield missile pod, firing everything into this unit. So hitting on 5s because of the dense cover. And that's 2. Let's see. T'au Sept reroll. Okay, paid off. And then these will be 4s to wound. That's very cocked. So 2 wounds.
Wait, question for you before you do that. Did you get a reroll ones because you're near your commander?
No. He's not core.
Okay. Yeah. He's not core, gotcha.
They changed that, yep.
So AP -2.
So 3-up save because of the barricade.
3-up saves from barricade. Here we go. Okay, finally gonna roll middle table. Oh no!
So 1 takes 2 damage.
Ooh.
So we got our 8 smart missiles, so this could pick 1 guy off if I get fortunate 5s to hit. Oh, that was good. That would have been nice on the other gun. And these are 4s to wound again. So 3 wounds, AP -1, but ignores cover, so 3-up save.
Oh yeah, okay. Make them all.
You make them all. Okay, so 1 is alive on 1 wound. Fired in with the Fire Warriors. They did take out the guy on 1 wound. Shifting targets. We're going to go over to this broadside. He's firing into the shield guys. So 2 shots. Hitting on 5s because of the dense cover. And T'au Sept reroll. Nothing. Okay. I'll fire his smart missiles in off camera. We went ahead and fired the stealth team off camera. The Melta did wound, but the save was made. No damage done to that squad. So now we're coming over here. Next to last thing, we do have the tank case left, but we're going to do tons of split fire. First, the drones are closest to these guys. They're going to shoot them. The missile pod shots are going into the lone guy on top, and then all 6 fusion are going into the squad with 2 people left. Let's start with the missile pod shots. Killing the guy up top, I think, is going to be our biggest thing. So these are going to hit on 5s, but I reroll everything with drop threat acquisition. Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. Ooh, they all hit.
Okay, you can stop now.
Alright, but I have to wound you on a 3. That is 4. You'll have a 3-up save if you fail any of them. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my T'au Sept reroll. Okay, so that's 5 3-up saves. Any fail is death.
Oh, there's flat two?
Yeah. You fail 2, so even a command point will not save him. So that kills 1 unit for overwhelming firepower as well, and I knock you off 1 objective. Now we have 6 shots into the squad over here with the fusion. So hitting on 5s again. Okay, 3 again. I already spent my reroll. Oh, I reroll everything to hit, though, because of drop threat acquisition. Adds another one. Alright, so we got 4 hits. Wounding on 4s because of your fancy junk.
Yep.
So 2 4-up saves.
Okay, I'm right here. Here we go. Make them
Got
both.
them both. All right. Nice. And then finally, 2 drones firing in. These guys don't have any dense cover or anything, but they hit on 5s naturally. Okay, and no rerolls because they're not battlesuit units. So that is 3 hits, and these will wound on 3s. So 2 wounds, no AP.
Okay, 4 up armor saves. Make one
They
fell
kill
one.
1. Would have liked to have killed 2 or 3, but that's all right. Now we can move 6 inches with strike and fade. Last thing to fire, the 10 case. Going into the shield boys over here. So overcharging, 3d3 shots. Okay, that's 5 shots. These will hit on 4s because he naturally hits on 3s.
Wow.
And I will use his targeting array. Okay, so only 4. And then strength 8, so 3s to wound. And I'll use T'au Sept reroll. For only 1, -2, so a 3-up save.
Save. Here we go, because the shields that they have. Got
Okay,
it.
they got it. All right. That is the end of the shooting phase. So our plan was, knock out a few units. I was really hoping to take this unit out, that guy out, and maybe hurt somebody else. And we ended up killing 2 Custodes and 1
Voidsman at arms.
Voidsman at arms. Okay, so the plan didn't go perfectly. Let's see if we can at least take that objective with a charge. And here we have it. A 4-inch charge. I don't have any command points, so this is not a guarantee. Okay, but we got it with 7 inches. All right, let's get some juicy T'au combat. Combat for the T'au. All right, so we all hit on 5s. Stealth suits. Crisis team, 4 attacks from the Shaz Ray, 3 attacks from each of the others, so 10 attacks with them, hitting on 5s. Not good. Rerolling 1 for T'au Sept. Oh, that's only 2. Okay, we got 3. And then these will wound on 3s. So they all wound. No AP. So 3 4-up saves.
I make 2, fell 1.
1 is dead. And then we've got 5 attacks from the drones, hitting on 5s. Wounding on a 4. 1 wound, no AP. Kills another. Okay, so we've killed 3 this round. They're morale, maybe? Right? Morale's a thing?
Morale's the thing.
All right, let's see what they do when they fight back. So the good boy over here is going to attempt to do mortal wounds to the crisis suits.
So the cannon's going to go in, and here we go. On a 2 to 5, I do 1 mortal wound. On a D6, I do D3.
Okay. Okay, so 1 mortal wound. We'll put it on one of the shield drones, and the doggy goes away.
Dog goes away.
Okay. Right. And then 3 attacks from the dudes, hitting on 4s, 1 hit.
1 hit. Be scared. I could wound you on a 5.
Yes. Doesn't wound.
No.
Okay, so 1 drone takes a mortal wound, and then we do have a little juicier combat down there. The Telemon killed 4 models over there in that combat. No damage was done back. I also did remember to fire my pistols into him. Nothing happened. But over here, there is something important. Need a morale check on these 2 guys. They need a 4 to succeed, or
4 or less to
4
succeed.
Or less. Okay.
Your leadership 7. We've lost 3 models.
They lower to... Okay, so they hang in. So what this means, if I could have cleared these guys, they would have lost 5 points for the primaries and another 2 points for claiming this objective. But since they're OBSEC and I'm not, they still claim it and they will still control it. So 12 points instead of 5 points for the Custodes on their primaries in battle round 3. The shield captain decided it wasn't worth taking out the tank. Now it's just about area denial, killing a character, assassination. Skyfire is exposed, and then Blood and Guts kill something else in the fight phase. End of the movement phase. After primaries, they scored 16 points on primaries. I forgot about, because they were able to do actions and do other things. So these 3 objectives are all claimed. That's 6 points. Plus 10 for holding more than 1 objective. So that puts the score at 43 to 15 right now for the Custodes at the beginning of Battle Round 3. But movement across the board, pretty much, again, everything moved forward. These guys stayed still on the objective. The Warlord moved back to hold that objective, because right now, with the commanding lead the Custodes have, if they just hold objectives, it's going to be tough for the T'au to come back in this thing. But these guys moved up, and then everybody over here shifted forward for some charges. And that looks like what's going down here. So measuring up some shooting and other juicy things. But yes, that is movement. Let's go into psychic phase, actually. So in the psychic phase, Kyria Draxus and her dragon Shang. With the dragon, it lets her choose the target of her smite. So she is choosing to smite into the Pathfinders. Need a 5. That is a 5. So D3 for 1 more wound. So 1 more Pathfinder gets killed. So, shooting. Telamon fired into combat. Declared the big gun into this. And was able to kill all of the Pathfinders in their last drone. Just killed them. It was exactly enough wounds to take him out. But now, since he is free of combat, he can fire the big gun into the hammerhead.
Yep, here we go. So,
hitting on 2s.
hitting on 2s. I'm going to roll right here next to him. Come on. Oh, no!
1. You do have a command point. I mean, they're only 3 damage.
Yeah.
So he still wouldn't die. He's got 8 wounds.
I am going to command reroll it. The reason being is because I
bracket.
automatically, with this weapon, reroll against vehicles for wounds.
Yep.
Okay.
So rerolling, need a 2. That is a 2. They both hit. So these are 3s to wound, rerolling. Rerolling the 2.
Oh no!
Okay, so, and it's AP.
AP minus 4.
4, so it goes through, down to 5 wounds remaining. Okay, and that's it for the shooting. But we got some charges coming up. We are part of the way into the charge phase. These Guardians made it in with a 5-inch charge to the stealth team, just what they needed. Then the shield captain and the sword guys tried to charge, and because of the barricade, were not able to get in. But last thing, the Telamon, 10-inch into the broadside, technically his drones, but over there. So 10-inch rerollable charge for the Telamon, not firing Overwatch.
Here we go. Come on.
Oh, a 9.
Oh.
That was close. You do get to reroll. That's an 11. Okay, that's big. He's in. Things are looking dire for the T'au. Combat, stealth team, dead. Moving on, though, to something more interesting. We could survive this with the drones, but the Telamon is fighting 6 attacks all in here, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, and then it'll be up to the drones and their invulnerable saves to prevent death.
Okay, so here we go, heading on 2s.
Okay, 1 fail. All right, we'll take it. And then 5 2s. Okay, so 4. So 2 4-ups on the drones. That one cocked. Okay, 1 drone's dead. Drone 2 is dead, and then AP is
minus 3.
Minus 3. Okay, so 5-up save. The broadside has a 2-up armor. Okay, so he survives. No drones are left, but the broadside is undamaged. Now, for the more important combat for the T'au. So, 10 attacks again. The big thing here is if I can kill them, first of all, they'll lose their claim, but I will be on this objective in my command phase, which give me 5 extra points for the primaries, which could be huge. So we need to kill 2 guys, hitting on 5s with 10 attacks. T'au Sept reroll, that was terrible. Okay, so we got 3. 3, but they're wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, no AP, 2 4-ups.
50-50 chance here. I make one, fail one.
Make one, fail one. Then we have 5 attacks with the drones. Hitting on 5s. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Oh gosh. I'm going to spend a command point.
Wait, do you get a T'au Sept reroll? No.
I already spent it.
Okay.
It does wound. A 4 up. This is 5 points.
Woo!
Brutal. Okay. So he survives. I've lost my command point. And a couple more fight backs, but we'll come back with T'au objectives next. So the T'au continue to need to shoot things. We need to continue to capture the enemy outpost. And then Skyfire thought about getting behind enemy lines. I spent my last command point to ditch it. I couldn't do designated tasking to split the drones off of the crisis team because we're in engagement range, which would have been my way to do that, but otherwise I would just have to hang on to it too long. And we drew grind them down. So the plan is, if I can kill 2 units with shooting, including the starship guys in the back, I can't think of their name, that would give me overwhelming firepower, capture enemy outpost, and a good chance at getting grind them down. Let's look at the movement. In our last round of Mont'ka, our broadside did fall out of combat. He would have just been killed in combat on my turn, so pulling him out. Advanced up with the Fire Warriors. They only got a 2, unfortunately, so not a huge one, but I am claiming this objective with this guy back here. Skyfire advanced forward. The tank ace shifted to the opposite side of the other tank, and then our broadside shifted back a little bit. Crisis team still engaged over there with the single guy. Let's go on to shooting. Skyfire gets a chance to redeem herself. She's firing everything into them again, and again, arcane genetic alchemy spent, so 4s to wound. First we got to hit with the pulse rifle. Rerolling because of the warlord trait. Oh my goodness.
Oh my lord.
She is really struggling. So fusion blasters. Okay, that's better. And then 4s to wound. And I can reroll all wounds, not just misses, because of her warlord trait. And still only 1 wound, 1 4-up invulnerable save.
Okay, because what AP on fusion is -4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
no!
She is within fusion range, so it's a minimum 3. D6 plus 2, so it will kill 1. Alright, so 1 goes down. Next up, we have the craziness. So there's going to be much split fire. So this guy can only see this. So he's firing everything into him. This guy's fusions are out of range of anything else, so they're both going into him. So he's going to have 4 fusions and a missile pod shooting in at him. And then, supposing that kills him, his missile pod and everything from this guy will go into the warlord, who's just in range. But we got to start with the fusions right here. So 4 fusions, hitting on 4s. I'm not going to spend my T'au Sept reroll. And then killing on 2s. Okay, so he gets melted into oblivion. And then we'll start with our 2 fusions from this guy into the warlord. Do you want to... Oh, you do this... He has a warlord trait, or relic, that lets him choose to activate a 3-up invulnerable save, but it's after the wounds and everything.
Yep.
So he doesn't have to do it when he's selected as a target. So these will hit on 5s because of the dense cover. I will T'au Sept reroll one of those. Okay, didn't help. And then we have 4 missile pod shots hitting on 5s. And nothing. Okay, so we do kill a unit for overwhelming firepower, and we've cleared and claimed this objective. So that will be a storm hostile objective. Secure enemy outpost. That's the one I'm looking for. So we'll get 5 points for that secondary as well. Moving on to our tank ace. He's firing everything into this squad right here. 3d3 shots overcharged. Ooh, not what we wanted. So that's only 4 shots hitting on 4s. T'au Sept reroll. And targeting array. Okay, neither help, but these are 3s to wound. 2 wounds, AP -2.
Okay, so 4-up invulns. Make them both.
Make them both, so they survive. I will fire some smart missiles in, but that's not good. Next, the other tank. So he has the buff from our tank ace, so he would be hitting on 4s. Vexilla puts him back to 5, so 3d3 shots. for 5 shots. Hitting on 5s. We have no hits. I'm going to reroll a T'au Sept and the targeting array. We got no hits. No hits. The broadside fired in. No hits. 1 hit with the smart missiles, I guess. Yeah, but no wounds through. The shooting has betrayed the T'au. But we are going to get crazy. I'm going to charge with this unit of Fire Warriors into this guy. They need a 9-inch because of the barricade. Do you want to do anything fancy?
No.
Okay. Need a 9. No rerolls. That's a 10.
Wow,
So the
what?
Fire Warriors are in. And then Skyfire is going to follow. I think she needs a 6. She is also in. After some piling in, this is how we end up. I'm going to start with Skyfire. She gets 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling everything for precision of the Hunter. They all hit. Wounding on 4s. Rerolling everything for precision of the Hunter. So that is 3 wounds, no AP, 3 2s.
I'll make them all.
Make them all. And then a drone attack on a 5. T'au Sept reroll. Okay, nothing from the drone. Do you want to pay to interrupt?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get some dice for these Fire Warriors. After the fight back, our shield drone is dead and Skyfire took 2 wounds. We score 5 points for capturing the enemy outpost. However, the Custodes are still going to get 12 points in their primaries, 5 for 1 objective, 5 more for 2 objectives, and that one is still claimed by them, so 12 points, putting them to 65 while the T'au sit on 25. It is not looking good for the T'au, but we'll head into Battle Round 4 with the Custodes and see what orders they get. New objectives for the Custodes. Hold the line. They will not actually be able to get this one, but capture enemy outpost they already have, and then assassination. Kill Skyfire, who's already wounded and exposed. We've concluded Battle Round 4 for the Custodes. In the center, you'll notice there's nothing left alive. The Warlord came in, took out Skyfire, but she ejected at the last moment and used a fail-safe detonator and blew up that 1 wound Custode that was still there. So she did take him out as she ejected. The Telemon came over. He actually fired everything into the broadside and couldn't kill him, but he did charge in and slaughtered that poor little guy down there.
Who was holding the objective the whole game?
Yeah, the 2 points I spent, that was well worth it actually for him. But yeah, so T'au are yielding now at 75. They score capture enemy outpost and assassinate, putting the Custodes at 75. T'au are sitting at the beginning of Battle Round 4, I'd get 5 points for the primaries. So 75 to 30, the T'au are retiring from the field with Skyfire ejecting. The alert goes out over the cadre net to abandon the battlefield, fall back, save the lives of the T'au, as that is what we like to do, and regroup as the Custodes press their assault on the T'au forces. We were just talking about it, obviously. We discuss it, I don't think I would have changed anything I did. Obviously, the big swing was the decision over here with the Pathfinders and the Telemon. So, I elected to keep them in combat because the thought process was this. The tanks do flat 3 damage. That's what I need to kill the Custodes. With a 4-up invulnerable save, it's a 50-50 shot if I kill them or I don't kill them if I wound with those guys. And if I would have fallen out of combat with the Pathfinders, the play would have then been everything shoots into the Telemon. Maybe I kill it, maybe I don't. But if my shooting would have went exactly as it did on that turn anyway, I wouldn't have killed it. All of the troops would have been alive. The Telemon would have charged in, took out the tanks, and then I would have no chance against the Custode infantry after that. It was just the shooting on that turn. So I had the plan, take out these guys back here, kill some stuff. Skyfire does no damage, kills nobody. I ended up killing 2 models that turn. The plan was hold the Telemon up so I can kill the infantry behind it. I killed 2 models. After Battle Round 1, where I kill 3 bikes and a dreadnought, and then from there it was just the rolling was against the T'au today. The saves for the Custodes were excellent.
I think I just looked at the points, and I think you killed like 420 points of models in turn one.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat, my jet bikes, my Gladys dreadnought, and so you nearly took out a quarter of my army right at the start. And I was sitting here, I was actually sweating a little. I was like, oh no. And then after that, I just added up. You only killed another 240 points.
Yeah.
So or not even actually. You end up killing 640 points total.
Total, yeah.
So that's wild because you killed the Melta Spear unit and you killed the Voidsman.
Yeah, and that's all. And then right at the end, I took out the last guy in that squad.
So you actually killed. Never mind. When we add that in, that's nearly half my army.
Yeah, and I mean that was a clutch kill. Like that made a huge impact on the game as I exploded, and you got 10 more points. The big thing, this guy, dense cover buff. You were able to keep all your units basically together inside that thing, and so when I lost the marker lights from the Pathfinders, basically my army's sitting on 5s, and that was the problem. I couldn't get the hits rolling the 5s, even with my rerolls. And then when I did get a wound through, your 4-up invulnerables were clutch, and that's the way Custodes work. If you make the saves, that's awesome. If you roll a 3, that's 35 points on an infantry guy just out the window. So it's a big swing, and when you make the saves, they are real tough to shift. That was awesome. I thought the game was great. I don't think I would have changed it. It was a risky move, but again, obviously seeing how it played out, it didn't work. But if I could have actually killed stuff with that shooting phase, I would have prevented you from scoring, because you were already ahead by like 15 or 16 points, I think, at that point. So I needed to stop your scoring, and the Telemon wasn't going to score you points. It was your infantry.
No, Telemon wasn't going to do anything else. We talked it through, and I think it was absolutely the best call to make. It was just that was literally a moment where the dice game side of it came out. And like I was making impossible saves, and you were making impossibly bad to hit in a wound. Yeah. And it was all just compounded, and it was wild. I expected to lose the whole midfield of my army. I was sitting here going, okay, well, I'm going to pick all my models up, and there we go. And it didn't happen. It was just wild luck for me.
And that's the thing. It's a dice game. I say that all the time because your plans may be foolproof as they could possibly be, but then when you have to roll dice to see the outcome, anything can happen. Like we said, if you haven't seen the last video, we did a T'au versus Custodes battle previously. This guy charged in and rolled 5 or 6 ones. Like, he didn't hit anything. He needs 2s to hit. He rolled all 1s. Then you spend a command point to reroll one of them, because I think it was like against a tank or something. It only had a couple wounds left, and you rerolled it and rolled another 1, and it was
so bad.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. So anything can happen with dice, good or bad or otherwise. But it was a great game. I had a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
Excellent.
I always love playing against your T'au army and your Tyranid army. And it's nice to actually bring the Golden Boys out. I don't play them enough. And it was fun to slice and dice some T'au.
Yes. Purging the Xenos. Yeah, the Inquisitor was here. You couldn't fail. There was no option. I mean, Custodes and Inquisitors, like, who actually is higher? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. My guard had been performing so bad. In terms of, not to give anything away, because I don't lose every game. So for those who haven't watched the older battle reports, go watch them. They're a ton of fun. But the Cadians were underperforming, especially against the inadequate Xenos. So we had to send in the Golden Boys and the Inquisitor to step it up.
Help clear up the sloppy Xenos grossness. But yeah, great game. Thanks for coming down. Also, Cadian Sergeant Steel, check him out. Instagram, YouTube, I'll put some links in the description of the video. Check him out. Subscribe to Slider Games. That would help us greatly. We appreciate all the support so far as we continue to press forward with this YouTube channel. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you are too. But thanks again for watching. Have fun.